Next, this is an executive order. This charges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices that's done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
Damn. So Trump, well, first off, y'all notice how quiet he was. He signed that shit and said a little bit of shit and shut the fuck up. He's listening to other people this time. And I think that's what seems to be bothering most Democrats, is that the people that he's listening to aren't the people that they listen to. It's not their advisors. It's not the people that they go to for advice. They got their advisors. Believe me, a lot of these politicians know nothing about the military. They know nothing about economics. They know nothing about anything at all. They need advisors. They all do. And Trump has himself a brand new set of fucking advisors. And for some reason, the Democrats really don't like him. Because the Democrats have spent a long time, decades, brainwashing the following, especially the black following. I mean, to the point of, so it's white folks who've jumped back and forth from the Democratic Party. Democrat be doing some bullshit for extended amount of time. They jump ship. They Republicans all of a sudden. Hispanics, look at the last election. I think it was like 54% for the Democrats and in the mid to high 40s for Trump. I mean, that shows diversity. That shows motherfuckers thinking some shit out. That's what we need. We cannot be the only race lumped and left with the Democrats in the high 80s, 85%. That's bullshit. That mean we ain't reading fucking books. That mean we not paying attention. That mean everybody else is getting it but us. It's okay for some Mexicans to just support or Hispanics and Latinos to support the Democratic Party. It's nothing at all wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with some of the blacks supporting them, but goddamn it, it just seems like I'm gonna keep having to hit black people over the head with this until they get it. You cannot be the race stuck with the Democrats and the lying that they're doing. Everything that Donald Trump is doing is what all the other presidents do. The one thing that he's doing different is he's being expedient. He's signing shit like as if, time was of essence. And it is. And it always is. But most of them don't act like that. They don't want you to get a sense of urgency. They put you in a nice, comfortable welfare state where you need them. Because if the government ever did anything to turn your financial engine on and get you in a place where you would be independent of the government as far as money goes. And that's what it sounds like these guys are trying to propose something. You guys have been hearing the talk lately, I'm sure. And if you haven't, this might be your first introduction to it. But Trump is trying to do away with the federal income tax. We won't have to pay tax out of your income. You'll pay tax on goods that you purchase, but out of your check, you'll get your full check because we're being double taxed. No Democrats ever thought of that because they can get a whole bunch of fucking money and they got a lot of pet projects. But I look at it like this, folks. If the Democrats really loved us, if they was really trying to help us, I'm talking about black people right now, they wouldn't give us a little bit of reparations in the form of welfare or in the form of things that aren't really going to get us out of our condition. They would figure, what is it going to cost to do this the right way, as opposed to just, the terrible education, the markets in our communities are a little sub, compared to the other ones. It's just, we know it, and we've always known it, and we've always accepted it. And this is a time for the young black people in this country, and the young Latinos and the young white people, to think different and be different and understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't nothing personal. We're trying to better ourselves. Has nothing. That's the biggest issue that we run into, is when we talk about ourselves in a loving way, people they're not used to it. That's what bothers them. They go, man, all them black people ever do is talk about themselves. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. I'm getting, excuse me for saying it, but a little envious when I'm around other races, because you talking to some Mexican guy at the store and all he talking about, oh, I got to get this home to the familia. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun tonight. There's nothing like family. There's nothing like being around my family. Like, wow, that's some beautiful shit. I feel the same way myself, not that I don't, but I just don't feel like we all feel that way collectively, where our families all get together. Sure, I have a family. You have a family. You probably get along pretty well with your family. But how about your extended family, your cousins, your uncles, your nieces? Does everybody get in the same house and get along well? That's what we need. We need that kind of love, so we can plan things out and think things out and not knock change. I'm telling you guys, it's a fact. We've been on the bottom so long. We've been in last place so long. We're comfortable. Don't ever get comfortable being uncomfortable. And we are in a very uncomfortable place, but we're comfortable. We're so comfortable that we don't want it to change because we're afraid of what might be next, as opposed to being so tired of the place that we're in this society, that we would be open to change. That lets you know that we're some beaten down folks. Anyone in their right mind who's in last place, who can read on the internet. They give us computers, you guys. They don't hold them away from us. It's legal to read now. We can read legally, and they can't do anything to you about it. And for you to be able to research and not just listen to what the Democrats tell you, look it up yourself. How we doing when it comes to home ownership in the United States? How we doing as far as our gang problems in little small country towns? You go to little towns in Mississippi and in Georgia, and they got dudes walking around toting guns and doing drive-by shootings in little country dirt road towns. Black kids. Because the kids in the bigger cities have influenced them to want to be gang members. And Snoop Dogg is a multi-millionaire, and he still rap gang lyrics and all that stuff. It just seemed like it got to be a better way. You gotta love your people enough to not make money harming them. If the only money you can make is hurting thousands and in some cases millions of people who look just like you, who are just like you, we are on an island, you guys. If you wasn't a slave in the United States of America, you can't get in this club. And this is a club that we need to make. Look at us. We have millionaires. We have bright minds. We have doctors. We have lawyers. We just ain't got enough of them. It's like a little spigot they turn on and off. And then when it comes to our politicians, that's just a wash for us. We can't expect anything out of them because they're beholden to the Democrats and the few over there in the Republican Party. But it just, God damn it, it just tears me apart to think that we're afraid of change so much that we're willing to stay in this place that we're in. We can never be, guys. We got to go talk to other black people, lift each other up, talk to people who love you and who care about you and get that self-esteem up. So there's no way we can be afraid. I don't even know who this dude is, but I didn't know who was advising Biden either. I don't trust Biden. So whenever he popped out and made speeches or whatever, he wasn't going in detail about this kind of stuff. The thing that Trump is doing different is his advisors are out front. They had people like Elon Musk and these economic advisors. They have all the military advisors. We don't know who they are. Bill Clinton and Obama and George Bush, they're not making these military decisions. They're sitting in the room shutting the fuck up. And these generals are talking and giving them the proposals and the options. And then the president does make the decision once he understands it, but he doesn't understand that shit until they let him know the implications of the potential decisions. And this general might be arguing for this, and this advisor might be arguing for that. And the president does have the right to not listen to any. I think Trump did a lot of that in his first term, just going out on his own. And I think it kind of smartened him up. The motherfucker is quiet. To see Trump sitting there, and either he's on his way down like Biden was in the beginning of his presidency, or he's listening. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it is hard for me to be mad hearing something like this. And if they're lying, we gonna know real quick. Did you hear the timeline? 1 year. We're gonna have this standing up in 12 months. That's some reasonable shit. That ain't no open-ended pie in the sky. That's a real plan. Whether you like it or not, it is a real plan. It is something in motion, as opposed to the Democrats and keeping everybody on welfare. And then if the welfare get bothered, everybody be freaking out. Oh, they cutting the benefits. Oh, ain't gonna be no more SNAP. No, it shouldn't be. Especially for us, we've been here too long. We've been out of slavery too long to still be relying on anything, or to ever be relying on anything from the government. Rather than do us right and leave us alone and allow us to flourish, they'd rather keep us dependent on them. And we seem to be comfortable with it, and we can't be. You got to be uncomfortable in these positions, or you'll stay in them, and you'll fight to stay in them. Because this feels like freedom to some people, and it ain't. It ain't. When you can't control your economic mobility, when you can't control everything in your life, like whether or not your wife has to leave your house each day and go to work, then you're not in a good place. You are not in a good place. And that's very unfortunate for us. Very unfortunate, especially as black men. We need to do everything in our power to strengthen our relationships with our women. They don't trust us. They act like they don't like us. The black men got this bad rap. Every time you see a black man, they're with a woman of another race, and that must bother the black women. What is going on with that? Is it our culture? What is making us dislike each other the way we do? Because it would only be dislike. What is it about a black person like us? And I don't, man, look at us. Other people come over and look at us, and we're mixed to them. They look like, you ain't no African. We are what we are, and no one else is what we are. And we don't like each other because no one else likes us. This would be a wonderful opportunity for us to flip that around, and it'll be the best feeling you ever had. It'll be the most wonderful thing you ever had. To feel the same way about most black people you see in life as you do about your own family. Because that's what we are. We're a family. But, you know, we're getting away from that too far, folks. And, you know, we can do better, for sure.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir. So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it. Otherwise, we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund, and I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund. And these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected people that have done unbelievably well in the world, in the real world. So that's a big deal, huh?
Yes, sir. I think it's going to create value and be of great strategic importance.
Mr. President, why is it important for Elon Musk to
Trump just signing the shit out them executive orders, and that's what you have to do. He ran. He wasn't fucking around. He said what he is going to do, and he's doing it. And the Democrats are whining. If you turn to MSNBC, if you turn to CNN, and it's just no shortage of material because they fucked up. They fucked up. And I don't mean in this election. I don't mean in this election. They have historically fucked up, the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? For them to be the party that started the KKK, the real Southern Dixiecrat, the real slaveholder party, and for us to be as close to them, that should just give us a little pause right there. But nobody changes that much. No fucking goddamn body changes that much. It isn't like the Democrats and the Republicans switch. That's what they switch sides. Whatever. That's some bullshit. I just think that we need to be out on our own. That's the only way we're ever going to be any good to ourselves. When I hear people saying things that you can read up on, investigate. Do you guys remember during the campaign, I believe Kamala Harris kept saying Project 2025. It's this book, and it's talking about this, and it's talking about that. She's saying a lot of shit, and they was really using the hell out of black people during her election. But once again, I must say, Project 2025 said nothing about black people specifically. Just like Democrats don't do nothing for us specifically. We just get fucked up, by attrition or however the hell it happened, and we get benefits just by luck and however they happen. But nothing ever is specifically for us to do really well. And to be honest, lately they don't really attack us as directly as they used to, except the police forces and the employment. It just seemed like most citizens of the country don't seem too bad. I've seen some guys who looking at them have prejudged their appearance, and then some of them come up and start talking to you. You'd be like, whoa, some white guys just get that feeling and looking at them, and then when they start talking, you're like going like, wow, but a lot of change is going on in the country. But we get these militias that they call police departments, and they don't want to change. Some of these guys probably wouldn't be such bad guys if they weren't cops, but that's just another thing that I'm not upset about. I think one of his I'll be doing a video on that. He's going to be changing shit with the FBI. How can you be mad if you're black? How the fuck can you be mad if policing in the United States is about to change as we know it? And we the only motherfuckers getting choked under police cars, shot, mispoliced. Do you guys realize that normal policing for us would be a complaint in any other city? They'd have a pile of complaints just on a normal day of work, what they do to us. But any other normal city, the fucking pile of complaints. The chief would be like, what in the fuck are you doing to these people? But us, no complaints because it's normal policing. That's fucked up. That's why we shouldn't be crying and whining if the FBI go away and the police departments change. What if they get tougher? I couldn't imagine. I really couldn't. But if they do, I want to see it. I want to see what the fuck is Trump planning on doing with the police departments. It might get better for us. I don't know. But the police departments need to be changed. That is some shit that defund the fucking police. We need to have police. Everybody does. But I'm just telling you guys, for all the bad shit that we got, let's open our minds up to some new shit. Learn about it. And then be able to get on and in my comments and say shit that makes sense. And don't just be complaining because you've been brainwashed by Democrats and you're okay with other black people receiving welfare for the rest of their life, or it being turned on and off or raised up and down. Fuck that. You want to make your money the way, how hard you work is how much money you make. How much education you have is how much money you make. Not how which party won the last election. Oh, Democrats won. Yay. They're going to be raising those SNAP benefits. Who gives a fuck? We should not be talking about none of that stuff. All these homeless black people, that shouldn't exist. We should have a 1-800 number we call and they come fucking get us. A van. Come pick a motherfucker up. You know, you out on the street, hungry, broke, pissing, whatever. We need 800, all black people, put on a metal fucking chain around our neck. Should be not one more motherfucking day of grief for us. And especially at the hands of ourselves. So we have to change the way we doing it, y'all. We cannot be this goddamn comfortable. Don't listen to MSNBC. Listen to the horse. They got this motherfucker on speaking out of his own mouth with his own advisor. Those two advisors, those are the advisors that MSNBC sent. We didn't elect them. We don't know who they are. We didn't elect Elon Musk. No, you didn't. But if we go by that, who was running the White House with fucking Biden? Biden wasn't doing it. So we know he had, but we trust them because our parents was Democrats and we love Democrats. They wouldn't do us wrong, would they? Then why are black people still on welfare? Why are immigrants who just come in the country applying for the same kind of benefits that most black people who are poor in this country are applying for? An immigrant who ain't even here legally yet, who snuck into the country. And they say that's not illegal. The Democratic Party does. Sneak into the country and start applying for the same benefits that a person who's been here their whole life, generations, back to slavery, is applying for. And you tell me ain't something wrong with that. Let Trump sign the shit out them executive orders. And every time he do, I'm applauding. Fuck it. I change. I don't give a fuck. I done waited on the kind of change that we want for so long. I just want any kind of fucking change at this point. Because I'm not going to continue to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I don't want you guys to be either. Like, comment, share, and please subscribe. And we'll see you on the next Black Popcorn.